And welcome back to, not tag commentaries actually, something new we're wanting to try. I'm wanting to try, and Dylan's just our test subject for the day. So how are you doing?
I'm doing good, man. How are you?
I'm good. Okay, so this one, to our fans, you've watched our tag commentaries. This will be a little bit similar to that, but the key difference is the tag commentaries, me and the co-host, whoever happened to be at that time, we would watch something that we've seen a million times before, a nostalgic movie for us. And this little segment I'm calling Tag You're It, which is simply one of the co-hosts, and I'll go first to demonstrate, chooses something that we've seen a million times, but the other person hasn't seen it. And just get to share a experience with them.
Okay. See
an old perspective and a new perspective, and see how our opinions differ, and what our thoughts are.
Okay.
And just wanted to do this one to make it kind of fun, where it's I give you a choice technically.
Yeah.
Because I've got a backlog of things I can do for this segment, so I'll give you two choices for today. And I'm not going to tell you what they are exactly, but I'll describe them to you.
Okay.
And it's funny, when I look at them, I'm like, there's actually a lot of similarities between these two.
Okay.
So one of them came out 30 years ago this year. One of them came out 20 years ago this year.
Oh, so this is... Okay, I think I know...
Okay.
I think I know what my choices are, because I think we talked about this the last time we were... I think the last time we hanged out, we had we were brainstorming off each other.
Don't tell them how the sausage is made, okay?
and we were talking about what two different movies. I'm pretty sure I know what they... I think I know what they are. Am I allowed to guess yet?
No. Okay, so I'll tell the audience at home how they're actually pretty similar.
Okay.
Both stories take place in the 1800s. Both involve a treasure hunt. And now we'll go to the differences. One is live action, one is animated. And one takes place in a foreign country, one takes place in America.
Okay.
So, for a visual metaphor here, I'll give you a choice between one is on one USB drive, one is on the other. So I just want to see which you choose.
So, red pill or the blue pill? I'll go for that one.
Okay.
The one that's got the gray there.
Okay. All right, so...
it's the Jungle Book, right? Something with the Jungle Book?
Yes.
Yeah, I knew it!
All right, so we'll break for a second, then we'll start the actual video.
Okay.
So, Grif, you ready to get started with this one?
Yeah, let's go for it.
Yeah, so before we get started, do you know why I chose this one specifically?
Okay, why?
Because it tied into a couple of new releases that are coming out this month.
Okay.
Because we have a Disney live action remake that live action.
Yeah, it's CG, but yeah.
I think this may be the only good live action remake, so
okay.
I'll want to hear your opinion on that. The other thing is, it actually has a little bit of similarity to Kraven the Hunter.
Okay.
Because it's about a guy who goes out in the wilderness and lives with the animals and fights poachers, so...
Okay.
So just enough justification, I think.
Okay.
And that it's its 30th anniversary, so...
Okay.
So, here we go, folks.
A few moments later.
Well, I think in all of our years of podcasting, this is the first time we've had to deal with the buffering.
Yeah.
Well, son of a gun.
I might be breaking out the other version after all.
Yeah. Maybe I'll get caught up. Oh, come on!
But if it happens once, it's gonna happen more than once.
Yeah.
Of course it isn't. We'll do the best we can. If we have to switch, we can.
Okay. Don't just stare at her. Go talk to her.
We all remember what it was like to be that age.
Yeah. She looks like the little Debbie girl, you know, the little snack. It's the snack food.
I was thinking she kind of looked like Darla from Little Rascals.
Oh, yeah, she does. Oh, again, son of a...
Okay.
Pulling out all reliable.
Yeah. How do you stop it, though?
I was going to say, I don't think I'll let you pause it when it's trying to buffer.
Could always do that.
Yeah.
Let me just... Oh, come on. It's like, I know it'll fit in there. Good thing I didn't have to apply the lube.
Got a hot toy on it.
No, we're not doing that podcast.
I can't believe how popular that podcast got.
We don't sell crypto to our fans.
Right, and then rip them off. But I did see this tweet where this guy was like, for anybody to buy crypto from somebody that spit on wieners deserve to to lose their money.
Okay. So, yeah. Nothing happened. We're just gonna keep watching.
This is in English, right?
It is.
Okay.
Let's see where exactly we were. Okay. Close enough.
2 hours later.
So, what'd you think?
Can you turn that down a little bit?
Yeah, sure.
Well, I actually thought it was pretty good. I was surprised.
Yeah, very different. Not exactly what you expect.
Yeah, it's sad that you don't really see Disney make movies like that anymore. Like, they're just not really good anymore. It's pretty rare they do stuff like that anymore.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of why I've lost my taste for Disney, because they just don't really put anything good out anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't believe 30 years ago, that's when that came out.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't even know this was a thing. I never saw the commercial for it or anything like that either, so I
mean, I didn't go, parents didn't take me to the theater to see it or anything. I got it, they bought the VHS, I watched it.
Oh, I get you, okay.
But yeah, I know it's a controversial or hot take, but we're talking about like adaptations of Jungle Book for movies. That's my favorite one to revisit.
Yeah.
Because even though I like the animated one just fine, and I actually don't hate the one they did just a few years ago.
Yeah, was that one any good? Because it was all...
It was okay.
Yeah, because I know a lot of the animals and stuff were CG, but it was tolerable.
Yeah, and that one was more, it was a remake of the cartoon, basically, because the animals were all speaking.
Yeah, I like the idea that animals can speak. Now, is he called Mowgli in all of them?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's I'm talking about like live action remakes that Disney made. I think that one's probably my favorite one, because I kind of don't consider that last Jungle Book they made live action, because it's mostly CG.
Yeah.
It's got a real human boy in it, but you know.
But everything else is, yeah.
Yeah. That's where I draw the line. I'm not watching Lion King. I'm not watching any of that other shit.
Yeah, they got another thing coming out where I saw the commercial to it. It was called Mufasa.
Yeah.
It's like another commercial or something. It's got Timon and Pumbaa in it. So I'm confused.
Yeah.
With that.
Yeah. Don't think I'll be watching that one. I only allow myself to watch one bad movie a month. and I already watched Kraven the Hunter, so I've tortured myself enough.
I don't know if I've seen a bad movie this month or not.
Count yourself lucky.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm trying to think of... Yeah, I can't think of anything I watched that was bad this month.
You have a quote for your review of the movie, because I've got one that I'll put in it. Just how would you review it or rate it? Like
So I guess if I were to rate this, it would definitely be like a 1 through 10 type of thing. So that's normally like how I think shorter stuff I like to do like a 1 through 5, because I just kind of go through stuff that involves realms of cinema. So I kind of think like some music videos can be under that too. But I mean, like I guess if I would rate this. Because I normally give it a few days before I try to rate something, but I think overall I'd maybe give it like a 7.5. I mean, like maybe the only two things I could complain about was just the small amount of moments of seeing like the Python thing.
Yeah, the CGI.
Yeah, that being terrible, but it's really hard to pick that much on this movie for how old it is.
Yeah.
Because just the special effects weren't there yet, so I think it would have been smarter for them to have just stuck with practical effect for that
But it is cool.
creature thing.
It is cool that they you could see it when they used a real snake.
Right, yeah.
They used it for as much as they could until it got right up on the guy.
Yeah, and it was funny because like when he that character was under the water, that looked more real when it was out of the water.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't really think the special effects should exactly affect the grade that much. But I mean, really, that's the only thing that bothered me was that. I mean, of course, I wish the animals talked, but I mean, that's not that big of a deal. Like, I mean, I want to give them a lot of credit for using the. I mean, this whole movie is practical effect, but the snake.
Yeah. So
other than that, I mean, I think a 7.5 is like pretty fair. I mean, I still think it's a really good movie. I mean, I think it's worth me watching more than once for sure.
Okay. Yeah, I just wanted your honest take on it, because I didn't know exactly what to expect, and I know you're a little harsher on films than I am. So
yeah, I really am, but like I can still watch something and even say like like we really enjoy. Which I know Batman and Robin has absolutely nothing to do. Like, and of course, like if you watch Batman and Robin, like if you take it from a serious point of view, it is an absolute worst movie ever. Mm-hmm. Like it's just really stupid. But like if you watch it in the sense of like you're just watching it and you're enjoying it, because it's just so campy and stupid. Like I think it could be enjoyable in the whole conversations we have. When we say we didn't like a movie or if it wasn't good, I'd ask you, well, was it good trash? Like. Which I would not consider this movie good trash. Like this is just from my opinion, like a really good movie. I don't really like to give a lot of 10 out of 10s out. Like that's pretty rare. Do I do that? Mm-hmm. I think I gave one episode. I think I gave it a 10 out of 10, and that was only because the amount of hard work he put into his fan made film that he did, and. It looked really good. So, I mean, I think I've only did like a 10 out of 10 like once or twice. So it's pretty rare do I give like a 10 out of 10. Like a movie has to be very, very, very spot on a lot of things to give it like a 10 out of 10.
Mm-hmm. But now that you've seen this movie and you know that I've seen it a million times since I was a kid, you kind of see where I got a lot of my tastes and my likings,
Yeah.
don't you?
Well, and you know, I think, like, let's say, like, if you were going to want to, like, let's say Disney wanted to make, like, a live action, like, with this, which this might be a very unpopular opinion, but, like, if you really want to keep a lot of respect for practical effect, like, I think, like, puppets would be interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you could do, like, something, was it Jim Henson?
Henson Company.
Yeah, like, if you did something, like, with puppets like that, like, he always did a really good job. And, of course, you could tell it was a puppet, but there was, like, a lot of moments in a lot of his films where, like, you can tell it was a puppet, but, like, I enjoyed the atmosphere of a goblin puppet than, like, a CG goblin.
Yeah. What we're saying is put the Muppets in the Jungle Book.
Right. Yeah, like...
Give the Muppets something to do, because Disney's doing nothing with them.
Yeah. Like, I think that this could be done today very well with practical effect. It's just... It'd be interesting to try to figure out how to do it with animals in practical effect. Yeah. But having things in costume can be doable, but I just... It would take a lot of finesse. I definitely think it can be done by certain directors. By who, I don't really know, but...
You know, on that thought, you know, they did the Broadway version of The Lion King, where it had the human characters all dressed up as
something like that.
And stuff. Like, like, that'd be really interesting to have the Jungle Book because of its musical numbers from the cartoon and everything, and how to incorporate that, but with like live acting and stuff.
See, I'd be okay with something like that. I know probably because I know there's a lot of I think hardcore critics really get on to movies about their CG, and I think ones that take the corporate's money, they like to really brag about, like, oh, the CG doesn't bother me, and I think it bothers a lot more people than what people think. But I can be, you know, I can agree that there are some moments when CG has to be used, but I think doing something with practical effect like that, like people in suits, like, that's something I would totally watch. Like, I could totally accept that. I would not be completely against that. Like, if you just kind of like made the actor like look kind of like the animal, like, I could totally just buy into that.
I'm just imagining someone in the like orangutan suit, with as King Louis dancing, doing "Wanna Walk Like You," walk like you. You know that? Yeah,
there's I can't remember the show, and I wish I could. Skin Wars, I think that's the name of it. It was like a show that came out on Netflix. It was like 3 seasons, and they were these high-end artists, and what they do is they would paint people, and they'd have to make them look like stuff. So I think if you had like high-end artists that could come in and build prosthetics and paint people to look like an animal, I actually think that would be 100% doable. Now that I think of it, because like a lot of those artists from Skin Wars, I mean, like, a few of them had to make like a person like look like a lion and make them look like animals. Now, of course, some of them did really good and some didn't, but I mean, that would be something I would totally buy into.
I'm trying to think of what that one show was. That it was on the Sci-Fi Channel. Was it Face Off?
Yeah, I think it was, and they had to make some of the people like look like aliens and creatures and stuff.
It was hosted by the actress who played Mystique in X-Men.
Oh yeah,
I think it was called Face Off. I think.
Yeah, because she did Skin Wars too. Okay. But I can't. Of course, we won't think of this. We won't think of her name till. Yeah, you know, it's funny. I was just talking about that actress the other day. I got nothing. Rebecca Romaine. Yeah. Ding, ding, ding.
Yep.
When I win a chicken dinner. Yeah. Yeah, Rebecca Romaine. Yeah. Yeah.
Could be interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, I would actually like to see that take. And and Disney has the budget too. You know what I mean? Like, they have the budget to do a lot of actual practical effects in their movies, and they act like they don't have the money. And I wonder if it's maybe because they've just have gotten lazy because they just make so much money now, though. It's like they just don't care as much. Maybe it's the directors and somebody's fighting with somebody with their direction of a movie. I don't really know what's going on with what's made nowadays.
I think part of it is they've got too many things going on all at the same time, all the time. They're always...
Yeah.
Because these VFX artists that work on like a blockbuster movie, they're working on like 10 blockbuster movies at the same time, just going back and forth between them. So they're under a time crunch for the one movie, and then they've got time crunches for all these other things, just back to back to back, and they just don't... They don't give them enough time or pay them well enough to do that. So
that's like that whole thing that's going on between like Snow White and so it's like the Daily Wire, which that's like a more
the Brett Cooper.
So you've got like the more conservative side of their story, and then you've got Disney's side. But I wanted, now I haven't seen it. Like I saw the commercial, and it looked like they focus more on practical effect compared to them, which I did still see some CG like in the trailer, but it definitely like I could believe Brett Cooper being more of a Snow White than this other girl. But yeah, like I would really like to see Disney like return to stuff like how this movie was. Like I really think they have it in them if they do it. It's just I think they're just too into Russian production on so much stuff.
Yeah, but like I've just noticed in the last 4 years that like a lot of things have gotten rushed, like everything, all the schedules got condensed because of the pandemic and everything. Like they had a plan and how to release it with a little bit more spread out, but since they had to take like a year to reschedule everything, it all had to get crunched together. It's not just Disney, it's Warner Brothers and all these other companies.
And everybody does it. I'm not just pointing a finger at Disney. I mean, there's a lot of them that do it. It's just, I think it would be easier for a lot of these companies to just to take your time. So you're not just like rushing to get something out. It's better just to just do it once. Like I was really disappointed in the remake, the live action remake of Beauty and the Beast, because I think it's just a very interesting story. It's just like a beautiful love story type of thing. And don't get me wrong, like I like Emma Watson, but like as a Belle, like no. But of course as a Hermione, I felt like she played the part well, which I didn't read the books, so I can't you could compare her to that, but it's just a lot of that movie was just really terrible CG, and it's like I know Disney could do better than that. And so that's just kind of what sucks. They're doing all these live action movies, but everything isn't live action. Like they're trying to do like Moana here, and now they're trying to do Lilo and Stitch. I just like I don't get the live action if it's not live action. You know what I mean? Like that's confusing.
Jungle Book may be the only one that I saw, and that was just because I really like the overall story of the original books and the anime and the adaptations that they've done. So that's just because I had a personal connection to that story, so I wanted to see what they did, and it was okay. Like for a live action remake, it was decent.
I mean, believe it or not, because I watched this, I would actually watch that next one just because I'd be curious on how they told the story.
They do have a really good cast, I'll say that. The voice cast for the animals is really good. I know they had that. I know that like Scarlett Johansson and that just some the other voices that I recognize, but I can't think of their names off to that Isra is anyway, I can't think of the dude's name. Idris Elba.
Yeah,
he's a good Shere Khan. Okay, so you like the film? You'd recommend it?
I would recommend it. I'll admit, I didn't really think this was going to be good, and that's only because I've never showed any interest in the Jungle Book. Like it just like I didn't like even when I was a kid, I didn't really care much for the cartoon. It just wasn't something I was interested in. So I was expecting that I was going to highly dislike this movie, so I was surprised that I came out actually liking it. And I think Mowgli, am I saying his name right?
Yeah.
I think he had a lot of good dialogue. So yeah, he didn't do like a lot of over explaining, but like what little moments when he said something that you could tell that there was moments in this movie where it felt heavy, like he would just say a simple words that just got straight to the point, and I like that. Like that's a very smart way to do something like that. I enjoyed it, but yeah, I would definitely recommend it. I was actually surprised how good it was. And the amount of practical effect in this was very impressive. Like I'm more impressed by somebody that, and practical effect can, like I can consider it be kind of crappy and still have respect for a director that does the best they can with what they have.
Yeah.
Like I can really, really get behind that than it just looking at something and realizing that it's lazy CG.
Yeah.
And which I really don't think that the snake in this was lazy. I think it was just at a time when the technology really wasn't there quite yet.
I was still in awe, like how they did some of those stunts with the animals, like the scene with the snake and Mowgli in the water, and it's like wrapping around him. I'm like, how did they do that?
Yeah.
Like I don't know how. I just don't get how you would train a snake that well. Like you could train. I get you can train a bear or a tiger or something decently well, but it's like I never would have thought of a snake doing that.
Yeah, and there could be some magic behind that to where like they just used a real snake, and then there could have been some dude off screen just with a prop. Who knows how they did that? And hell, it could have been a real snake. I don't know.
Yeah, it just, like, I think some of it, when it's wrapped around him, maybe is a rubber snake, but the way it's edited and directed, it cut into, like, with the footage of the real snake, and then the head scene, like that. It all is, even though it's not all of it works, it's all cut together really well.
Yeah, and I don't know if I ever asked you this, but since we're just going back and forth here, like, are you more of a CG-driven guy, or are you more practical effect-driven?
It entirely depends on what I'm watching, like what the intent of the artist is, and like, because I think I really like multimedia things where where you combine a lot of different art styles or things, different techniques in one project, like when you watch Spider-Verse or Smiling Friends or all these shows shows and movies that have like use a bunch of different styles of animation.
Was that Spider-Verse? Was that the one that had like a lot of let's see, it was kind of done like a comic book, like you like flip the pages type of animation. Was that right?
There's some of that in there. It's like their main style was like 2D with like 3D backgrounds.
Yeah.
2D characters and more 3D looking backgrounds.
Yeah.
And every character is animated a little bit differently. So they always stand out when they're on screen.
Yeah. Well, okay, so if they did, do you think, so let's say that Disney wants to do another remake, do you think that they should stick with live action, or do you think it could be done well, like with like a cartoon, like an animation type of thing?
I mean, I would kind of prefer the animation route, just because I feel like you can do a lot more with it.
Agreed. Yeah.
And I like the live action thing is just a gimmick anyway. Like it's just to differentiate it from the other thing.
And I feel like it would be really hard because there's a lot of things going on in something like that. So I feel like it would be really, really hard to try to make that. Because I'm not against them redoing their animation. Like I'm not against that at all. I actually would think that would be a good idea of maybe if they redid some of their old films in a different animated way, because they could,
as long as
make it look better, and
as long as they don't completely copy it.
Yeah, but you would definitely need to tell a different story in some different way. So depending on what story that would be, I don't know, but I mean, like if they like redid like Beauty and the Beast, I mean, you'd just be like redoing you know, the other one. I don't really know how they would do that. I don't know.
So, I, as you can tell, audience, I highly recommend that you watch this movie if you haven't seen it. It's one of the best, arguably the best live action remake Disney's ever made. And the quote that I'm going to pull and put for this one: watch this instead of Kraven the Hunter. That's a better way to spend 2 hours.
Yeah.
I tell you.
Yeah.
But I think, I mean, I talked in the review itself, like some of the similarities and differences from other adaptations. I think I've said everything I need to say there.
Okay.
So, audience, if you stuck it out with us and you like this kind of content, let us know, and we'll see if we can do this again. But my idea with this is that I picked something this time, but next time we do this, Grif can pick something that I haven't seen, and we watch it. So if you're up for that, let us know, and we'll see you sometime soon in the new year. I don't know when I'll get this out, but I'll get it out as soon as I can. Grif, you want anything else you want to say? Or?
No. But I enjoy you showing me this movie. It's funny because we've been friends for quite some time, and you have always showed me like really extravagant movies. Like really good ones. Whether if it's a comedy or just like a really good movie, and half the stuff you show me like I've never even heard of. So that's really neat that you can. Get me into stuff like that. Like, I just find that cool.
That is one of my intentions with my channel and with this content specifically. Is just to talk about something maybe not everybody's heard of, or maybe they forgot about it and they haven't seen it in a decade or two, and they're like, "Oh yeah, I remember this," and then they're like, "Hey, I want to revisit it because I remember liking it as a kid."
Yeah.
So,
I thought it was a good idea.
Okay. So, audience, thanks for sticking it out with us. Let us know if you want us to do more of the Tag Your It series, and we'll look into it. Just know that, like with all of our stuff, we're not intentionally gonna torture each other with bad movies.
Yeah.
That's not our intention. Maybe the movies aren't the best reviewed, but we're not intentionally seeking out crap, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like this movie didn't actually have that great of critical reception when it first came out. So, I mean, technically, critically, it's not well liked. But in the years since then, a lot of people have come around on it.
It's definitely a hidden gem. Like it's definitely it's funny because I don't ever remember there was anything about this film when I was a kid. Nothing.
Yeah, it's a hidden gem in the jungles of India.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Thanks for being here with us, everybody. I'll link Grif. I'll link your some social, whatever you want me to link. I'll link in the description and go from there.
All right.
Thanks for being here, everybody. We'll see you next time.
So listen well and hear the call, and long life to those that keep the jungle law.